Problem I-40 shut down in both directions between Tennessee and North Carolina. It's a big concern. Some 30,000 drivers use that stretch in both directions.
Every day the United States infrastructure is tested. But what happens if a construction roadway fails? Just when you thought the roads would get much better, the announcement of a huge I-40 closure transforms the wide road into an exhausting distraction. Today we are going to discuss the construction of I-40, why it broke, and its consequences. Interstate 40, I-40, is a major east-west transcontinental route that runs 2,556.61 miles, 4,114.46 kilometers, through the southeastern and southwestern United States. I-40, the nation's third longest interstate highway, behind I-90 and I-80, connects various landscapes and large urban centers from coast to coast. I-40 begins in California's Mojave Desert and ends at I-15 in Barstow. The route then passes through the stunning Colorado Plateau in Arizona and the southern edge of the Rocky Mountains in New Mexico. The highway then goes through the Great Plains, traveling through the Texas Panhandle and Oklahoma before heading south of the Ozarks into Arkansas. I-40 continues its trip over the Appalachian Mountains, eventually arriving in Wilmington, North Carolina, where it joins with U.S. Route 117 and North Carolina Highway 132. Along its long course, I-40 connects many other significant cities. Interstate 40, I-40 development began by reusing existing roads. The Magnolia Avenue Expressway in Knoxville, Tennessee, was the first segment to open, with portions opening from 1952 to 1955. North Carolina's first parts comprised controlled access portions of US 421, completed between 1955 and 1958. The remaining section of Arkansas opened in 1972, followed by the Hernando de Soto Bridge on August 2, 1973. California's final stretch was finished at Needles on August 13, 1973. Tennessee's last original stretch was fully operational by September 12, 1975, and Oklahoma's final leg near Eric was completed on June 2, 1975. In 1971, North Carolina proposed a $75 million project to connect I-40 to I-95. The final link between Wilmington and Raleigh was dedicated on June 29, 1990, completing this essential interstate. Joe Dedman, the captain of the towboat Robert Y. Love, was sailing through the Arkansas River when the accident occurred. While moving barges across the Robert S. Kerr Reservoir, he passed out and lost control of the tow. This resulted in a deadly accident between the barges and a pier supporting the Interstate 40 bridge. In a terrible moment, a 580-foot portion of the bridge crumbled into the sea beneath. It was raining heavily at the time, but it stopped soon after the incident. Unfortunately, by the time traffic had been stopped and people noticed the bridge had fallen apart, 8 passenger vehicles and 3 semi-trucks had fallen into the river or onto the pile of rubble. The disaster killed 14 individuals along with injuring 11 others. What could have caused the failure of this beast, which took almost 35 years to build? Hurricane Helene is the answer. It is a catastrophic and fast-moving tropical cyclone that was the major cause of the collapse of a critically important bridge in the southeastern United States in late September 2024. As the hurricane made landfall in Perry, Florida, with maximum sustained winds of 140 miles per hour, it quickly intensified and traveled inland, dumping torrential rain and deadly wind gusts. These extreme conditions put a huge burden on infrastructure, especially in western North Carolina and eastern Tennessee, where the combination of heavy rain and hurricane-force winds caused devastating flooding. This huge water pressure and instability eventually led to the bridge's structural collapse, highlighting Helene's disastrous effects and the vulnerability of essential transportation networks during such severe weather events. This disaster underscores the need for increased infrastructure resilience to withstand future hurricanes, since Helene became one of the most deadly storms in recent U.S. history, killing over 180 people. Fortunately, no one was on the highway when the bridge collapsed, but detours lasted nearly 3 weeks as emergency repairs were completed. However, the United States Department of Transportation has yet to provide a public comment addressing the resources it may provide to North Carolina Department of Transportation, NCDOT, officials for highway repairs.
U.S. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg joins us now live from Washington, D.C. this morning to talk about what's being done to get the roads fixed. All right, so give us an idea. What is a timeline for getting these roads, especially the major interstates like I-40 and I-26, back up and running?
Yeah, I-40 is a clear priority. There are also still parts of I-26 that are compromised, although I was pleased to see how much of that got back up and running by yesterday. We estimate over 400 roads still closed and are engaging with North Carolina's DOT to address them. It's difficult to overstate how profound and widespread the damage is here, and so there's a lot of prioritization that's going to have to go on, largely to make sure that funding is not a barrier. So North Carolina's DOT has signaled to us that they are going to file for what's called emergency relief. That opens up a fund that we can use to provide some of the dollars to get that done, and that can go to everything from preparation and certain kinds of debris removal to getting on with the reconstruction. The latest estimates I've seen from North Carolina's DOT suggest it is months at minimum before there is a full restoration of I-40, but we have seen in many disasters around the country how temporary solutions can be applied to try to get vehicles moving. That's part of what we'll provide technical assistance on, working with the DOT in-state to get as much back to normal as quickly as possible.
Well, the bridge was I-40, a bustling route, with significant traffic passing the bridge on a regular basis, because it travels across 8 states from Wilmington, North Carolina, to Barstow, California. Photos from the location showed many lanes of I-40 washed out in the steep landscape, with drivers caught in bumper-to-bumper traffic jams. The sudden closure caused many people to take new alternatives, adding significant distance to their trips and raising the danger of accidents on secondary roads. Local businesses, which relied on the continuous flow of highway traffic, experienced a significant decrease in consumers, causing economic distress that stretched beyond the immediate area. Additionally, emergency response teams had faced major challenges in reaching affected areas, compounding their efforts in a situation that was already difficult. Commuters were left dealing with extended travel times, which not only disturbed their daily routines but also contributed to the growing concern about infrastructure safety. Transportation officials have yet to provide an estimated timeline for the completion of repairs. In light of the scenario, the government has issued a caution to drivers, stating that all roads in western North Carolina should be considered closed. Its shutdown because of the collapse created enormous obstacles. But what other options exist? And what efforts did management make to make the situation less frustrating? Let's address this together. Following the closing of the I-40 bridge, Google Maps and the North Carolina Department of Transportation concluded that Interstates 81 and 26 were the best alternative routes for travelers. However, this detour extended travel by 50 miles, significantly extending travel time and causing inconvenience to those who relied on I-40. But, in the end, it is all worth it because choosing different routes can provide the greatest integer improvement. It could enhance safety by redirecting drivers away from hazards linked with collapsed infrastructure, resulting in the minimization of the risk of accidents. In response to the issues that residents of western North Carolina confront, the government is implementing a number of preventative measures to improve safety and evacuation procedures. One of the primary goals is to reopen a vital lifeline that serves as a critical channel for emergency evacuations, allowing residents to readily access safer places. Furthermore, officials from both states were actively inspecting the damage on their respective sides of Interstate 40 throughout the weekend. However, they stated that they did not have a firm schedule for when repairs would be finished. Will Reed, the Deputy Commissioner of the Tennessee Department of Transportation, TDOT, told reporters that the department planned to begin awarding repair contracts as early as September 30th. However, as of Monday afternoon, TDOT spokesperson Mark Nagy confirmed that no contracts had been finalized with any of the organizations. "We are still in the debris removal and assessment phase," Nagy assured. "The main focus is on reconnecting severed communities," Nagy added. He stated that once water levels recede, additional challenges with road and bridge damage may become obvious. "We are working to get roadways and bridges open as soon as possible." In addition, in a quick response to the bridge collapse, TDOT looked at more than 100 bridges in just 36 hours, according to a 5:30 p.m. social media announcement on X, formerly Twitter. Despite this huge effort, officials acknowledged that hundreds more bridges needed to be examined. Even after the management's and government's endless efforts, the loss that has developed as a result of the breakage of the Interstate 40 bridge would take months, if not years, to get back to normal. You must ask why. In the aftermath, as states work to recover from the extensive damage caused by Hurricane Helene, you can make a meaningful impact by supporting relief efforts. Every contribution counts and can make a significant difference in the recovery process. Here are some organizations you can donate to that are assisting those affected by the hurricane: American Red Cross, the Salvation Army, United Way, GoFundMe, World Central Kitchen, All Hands and Hearts, and AmeriCare. What support systems will be established to assist families displaced by the storm? Will the bridge be able to be as strong as it used to be? How will local organizations collaborate to ensure effective relief efforts in the future? Do let us know your valuable thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and press the notification bell so that you can be the first to watch our new video. Please help me reach 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. See you in the next video.